Level 1. Virtuosity. Denzel Washington plays a serial killer hunting expert tracking virtual reality serial killer who becomes real through nanotechnology. If that sentence sounds like it was written by throwing 1990s tech buzzwords at a wall, that's because Virtuosity is exactly that stupid. Russell Crowe plays Sid 6.7, a virtual reality composite of history's worst killers who materializes in the real world and goes on a killing spree while Denzel chases him through what feels like a rejected script for Demolition Man 2. The film exists in that strange mid-90s period when Hollywood thought virtual reality was going to be the next big thing. It made a bunch of movies about it without understanding what virtual reality actually was. Denzel plays Parker Barnes, an ex-cop in prison for getting his team killed, who gets released to hunt Sid because apparently the entire police force forgot how to do their jobs. The logic is non-existent. The effects are dated, and the whole thing plays like a sci-fi original movie with an A-list budget. For fans who enjoy campy 90s action trash, Virtuosity delivers ridiculous dialogue and over-the-top performances. But this is objectively Denzel's worst wide-release film, a paycheck roll during his climb to superstardom. He's doing his best to sell material that can't be saved, running around Los Angeles chasing a pixelated serial killer while everyone involved pretends this makes sense. Virtuosity is the worst Denzel Washington movie because it represents him trapped in high-concept nonsense before he had the clout to choose better projects. Level 2. Safe House. Denzel plays Tobin Frost, a rogue CIA operative who turns himself in and ends up at a safe house run by rookie agent Matt Weston, played by Ryan Reynolds. When the safe house gets attacked, they're forced to go on the run together through South Africa, while various people try to kill them. The setup promises a tense two-hander between Denzel's experienced operative and Reynolds' green agent. What it delivers is generic action thriller number 437. Safe House checks every box on the modern action movie template. Shaky cam fight scenes where you can't see anything. Blue-gray color grading that makes every location look identical. A conspiracy that doesn't make sense if you think about it for 5 seconds. Denzel brings his natural charisma and intensity, but he's operating on autopilot in a film designed to be watched once on a plane and immediately forgotten. The film isn't offensively bad, it's competently made and moves at a decent pace. That somehow makes it worse because it represents Denzel coasting in franchise starter territory that doesn't actually start a franchise. Safe House is the film equivalent of fast food. It fills time without nourishing anything. Denzel has made genuinely terrible films, but Safe House is worse in a way because he's too good for this material, and everyone knows it. Level 3. The Equalizer. Denzel plays Robert McCall, a retired Black Ops specialist living a quiet life working at a Home Depot knockoff who comes out of retirement to help a young prostitute escape Russian mobsters. It's Denzel doing Taken, but with more Home Depot product placement and creative use of hardware store equipment as weapons. Director Antoine Fuqua brings stylish action and Denzel brings intensity, creating something that's entertaining without being particularly memorable. The Equalizer succeeds as a competent action vehicle for Denzel's older, wiser badass persona. McCall times every fight with his watch, dispatching bad guys with calculated precision that makes John Wick look sloppy. The action is brutal and well choreographed, especially the final showdown in the Home Depot where McCall turns retail supplies into improvised weapons. It's fun watching Denzel methodically destroy Russian gangsters while maintaining his quiet dignity. The problem is the Equalizer is just competent. It doesn't transcend its genre or reveal new depths to Denzel's range. It's a solid B-tier action film elevated to B+ by Denzel's presence, which is fine, but not what you expect from one of cinema's greatest actors. The Equalizer spawned sequels and a TV reboot, proving it connected with audiences looking for straightforward vigilante justice. It's good enough to enjoy, forgettable enough that you won't remember the plot a week later. Before we hit level 4, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We're about to meet the Denzel performances that actually showcase why he's considered one of the greatest actors of his generation. Level 4. Man on Fire. Tony Scott directed Denzel in this revenge thriller about John Creasy, a burned-out former CIA operative who takes a bodyguard job protecting a young girl in Mexico City. When she's kidnapped, Creasy goes on a methodical rampage through Mexico's criminal underworld. This is where Denzel perfected his modern action hero persona. the quiet, controlled professional who becomes an unstoppable force when pushed past his breaking point. The first half builds the relationship between Creasy and Dakota Fanning's Peta, establishing genuine affection that makes the kidnapping devastating instead of just plot motivation. Denzel shows you a broken man finding reasons to live again, making his descent into vengeance feel earned. When Creasy starts taking apart the kidnapping operation, Scott's hyperkinetic visual style matches Denzel's controlled fury perfectly. Man on Fire is career-defining because it crystallized what audiences love about Denzel in action mode: the quiet intensity, the professional competence, the moral clarity that justifies extreme violence. Creasy's famous line, "Forgiveness is between them and God. It's my job to arrange the meeting," became iconic because Denzel delivers it with such cold conviction. This is Denzel at his most commanding, turning a revenge thriller into something that feels mythic. Level 5. Glory. Edward Zwick directed the Civil War drama about the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, one of the Union's first African-American military units. Denzel plays Private Tripp, a formerly enslaved man turned soldier dealing with the rage and trauma of his past while fighting for a country that enslaved him. This performance earned Denzel his first Oscar and announced he was a generational talent. Tripp is angry, defiant, and unwilling to perform the docile gratitude white officers expect from black soldiers. When he's caught deserting and whipped, the camera reveals his back is already covered in scars from slavery. Denzel doesn't say a word during that scene. His face tells you everything about Tripp's fury at being punished by the same violence that defined his enslaved life. It's devastating acting that turns into what could be a simple flogging scene into a statement about cycles of violence and black resilience. Glory works because it doesn't sanitize the racism within the Union Army or turn its black soldiers into saints. Denzel makes Tripp complicated, noble and petty, brave and scared, a man forged by trauma, trying to find dignity in a system designed to deny it. The final battle sequence, where the 54th charges Fort Wagner, becomes iconic, and Denzel's performance is the emotional core. Glory launched Denzel into leading man territory and showed he could dominate even in ensemble cast. Level 6. Malcolm X. Spike Lee directed this 3-hour-plus biographical epic covering Malcolm X's life, from street hustler to Nation of Islam minister to independent activist assassinated at 39. Denzel inhabits Malcolm across multiple life stages, tracking his physical, intellectual, and spiritual evolution with such precision that you forget you're watching a performance. This is transformation acting at its highest level, not just accent and mannerisms, but capturing the essence of one of America's most important and misunderstood figures. The film covers Malcolm's criminal past as Detroit Red, his prison conversion to Islam, his rise as the Nation of Islam's most charismatic speaker, his break with Elijah Muhammad, his pilgrimage to Mecca, and his assassination. Denzel handles each phase distinctly while maintaining the through line of Malcolm's search for truth and justice. The speeches are delivered with such power that you understand why Malcolm moved crowds, scared authorities, and inspired generations. Malcolm X is Denzel's most ambitious dramatic performance. He spent months preparing, studying Malcolm's speeches and mannerisms, working with Spike Lee to create something definitive. The work is a performance that is both historically respectful and cinematically electric. Denzel captured Malcolm's intelligence, humor, rage, and evolution without reducing him to a symbol or saint. This is biographical acting as high art, and it remains the standard by which all similar performances are judged. Level 7. Training Day. Denzel plays Alonzo Harris, a corrupt LAPD narcotics detective who takes rookie cop, Jake Hoyt, played by Ethan Hawke, through one explosive day in South Central Los Angeles. Alonzo is charming, terrifying, manipulative, and completely unhinged, the best villain Denzel ever played and one of the most iconic antagonists in modern cinema. This performance won Denzel his second Oscar and created a character that transcends the film to become a part of pop culture. Alonzo operates by his own moral code, forged by years of working in neighborhoods the LAPD has given up on. He's not a simple villain. He genuinely believes his corruption is necessary to survive and maintain order. Denzel makes Alonzo charismatic enough that you understand how he seduces people into his worldview while showing the sociopathic calculation underneath the charm. The King Kong ain't got nothing on me scene is Denzel at his most volcanic, but it's the quieter moments of manipulation that make Alonzo terrifying. Training Day is Denzel's greatest performance because he fully commits to making Alonzo unredeemable while remaining magnetic. Every line is iconic. The way he says, "My nigga," his gleeful corruption, his panic when his empire crumbles. Director Antoine Fuqua gives Denzel room to work, and the result is a character study disguised as an action thriller. Alonzo Harris is why actors become actors, a role so juicy, so perfectly calibrated between villain and anti-hero that it defines an entire career. This is Denzel at his absolute peak. This is the GOAT. So which level Denzel movies are you watching tonight? And do you think anything tops Alonzo Harris? Comment down below. Leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for more rankings that prove some performances become legendary for a reason.